Hello, everybody. It's Barbara, and welcome to Warrior Friday. We'll start off with a little golden singing bell. Let's get ourselves charged. Here it's kind of foggy outside, so we got to charge ourselves up. And this is one way to do it, with sound. Sound healing is so powerful. This is our golden singing bell. This is a G sharp, so it's way up here. This helps charge us up. It helps charge up everything in my shop, the meteorite behind me, all the crystals, the incense, the candles, everything, the air. Yay. So, today I need to talk about a couple things. One is we got to be ourselves, okay? I've talked about this before, but we have to be ourselves. And this proves it right here, okay? Dress the way you want to dress. Drive what you want to drive. Live where you want to live. Decorate the inside and outside of your house the way you want to. Don't worry about what the neighbors think. Don't worry about people judging you, okay? Don't worry about what others think. Let that go. Do what you want to do, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else. And ye harm none is a great creed to live by. So, be yourself. A lot of couples right now are having issues with that, where I don't want you to act this way. I don't want you to go to that place. I don't want you. Okay, that's just somebody being controlling. And you have a choice. You have free will, just like they have free will. They get free will to say, no, I don't want you doing that. And you have free will to say, you know what? I do want to do that. That's where my friends are, and my friends are good people. And I do want to go there and hang out with them. Back in the day when I was married to number one, he didn't want me to go get acupuncture. I mean, talk about controlling. I'm going somewhere to make my body healthier, right? And he didn't want me to do that. So, of course, I snuck behind his back and did it. And then I got caught. But that's another whole story. But the thing is, we have to be our true selves, okay? So, if that means dressing like this, if that means hanging out in shops like this, if it means going and getting acupuncture, going for walks in the park, or hanging out with animals, as long as you're not harming anybody else and yourself, you have a choice to make. Do you want to give your power away, or do you want to take your power back? You know, if you're with somebody that's that controlling, sit down and have a conversation with them. Find out what's really going on, okay? Because that's just a symptom of something bigger. And we don't want you stuck in that. All right. Today we're going to have a card from the Dragon Wisdom deck. This is by Christine Arana Fader. Excuse me. And we have a very interesting card. So there's a lot of things going on in the world right now, right? People are scared. People are freaked out. People are nervous. People are worrying. People are resentful. Blah, blah, blah. Just don't participate in that. You, again, have a choice. We all have free will. Do you want to live in fear? I don't. I don't want to, and I don't. I don't live in fear. I know the powers that be, my spirit guides who live in the light, that love me. They don't want to see me fail. And I talk to them every day, and I'm so grateful. I am so grateful. Every time somebody walks through that door, I say, thank you, guys. So we need to show gratitude, but we need to not live in fear. So this card is the card of shadows. Wow, a lot of glare, sorry. There we go. So it's the eye of a dragon. Shadows. And this goes right along with all the things that are going on in the world right now. according to the book, many people fail to recognize their shadows for what they are, thereby allowing the dark side to manipulate them, to hold them in check, and to rob them of energy and enthusiasm. Some of the few things that are in the shadows include, of course, I'm going to include demons, cigarettes, alcohol, too much sugar, a sense of fear, addictive behaviors, playing the victim, spiritual arrogance, and so on. Spiritual arrogance is a big one. And I just want to talk about that for a minute. I've known a lot of people. I used to do paranormal investigations. I've gone out and cleared people's houses. I have taught many people how to clear their houses. And this is what spiritual arrogance is to me. It's when you think you're all that in a bag of chips and you're going to go in and get rid of whatever that dark entity is in your house. And you go in there with your ego. Guess what? That doesn't work. Because those low frequency entities and energies, they can work with your ego. You got to go in there with no ego. And one of the things that I'm thinking of as I'm talking is a lot of those ghost, I'm trying not to say any of the show names, but those ghost shows on TV. Those people go in with egos and it's never good. It's never good. They only do it for ratings. They only do it for money and ratings, people. If you really want to clear a house, you got to go in with no ego. No ego. I don't have an ego. I don't dress like this because I have an ego. I dress like this because my 5-year-old self dressed me this morning again. Okay, so you need to ask yourself this question. Am I ready to confront my shadows? If the answer is yes, then you can begin shadow work. If not, then just don't even attempt it. In other words, it's not like yeah, I guess I'll do it. No, you either have to be in 110% or not at all. Okay? So what this is all about, there's a whole meditation, not a meditation, there's a whole exercise in here to help you. So I'm just going to read this paragraph. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but pick one of your shadows and become familiar with it. The why, when, and how of it. Think about how it first started. Like if it's smoking, think about how that first started. If it's drugs, think about how that first started. If it's an addictive behavior, other than those, think about how it started. What are you really seeking with that behavior? Are you seeking a connection to another person? Is there a hole inside of you that needs to be filled and you don't know how to fill it, so you do whatever that addictive behavior is? You know, there's reasons behind it. And too many times, like when people try to stop smoking or they try to stop drinking or doing drugs, they just do the symptom, the surface. They don't go down deep. They're just trying to stop smoking. But you got to go down deep to why you started in the first place and why you continued to do it. Because there is a physical addiction, but there is also the spirit of addiction. And then there's habit. There's this habit, whatever this is. You know, it could be eating. It can be smoking. It can be whatever. It could be, I can't say that word on my YouTube channel. So the key is to understand that giving in can often mean victory and the breaking of paralysis. Inner rigidity can often prevent us from recognizing our shadows. Indeed, we are frequently extremely stubborn about this very issue. Stubborn? No, not us. When working with shadows, try to remain flexible in your attitudes. Recognize that when you are being cross or obstinate, the inner rigidity to which I refer. Sorry. Try not to put up defenses, but instead become soft and pliable. That's a big one. You know, a lot of times that spirit of victimhood makes us always feel like we're being attacked when we're not. Being defensive involves meeting inner rigidity with rigidity, which does not lead to success. That's like the rock in the hard place. That's not going to get you anything. But if the rock is here and you're, I'm going to just be pliable, you can move right past it. Okay? So we need to be kind to ourselves. Whatever that thing is that is the shadow that we're working on, we need to be kind to ourselves during the process, because it is a process. Now, one of the things that you can do is meet with a healer. And there are healers that just bring in the light. That's not the kind of healer you need if you're going to be going through this. You need a healer that can work with the shadows, that can work with demons, that can work with spirits, spiritual entities. Like I said, the spirit of victimhood is an actual entity. I've taken those off of people. I worked with one young man who it literally looked like a big snake wrapped around him, and it was squeezing him. And as soon as we got that off of him, and we worked together, okay, this is not somebody else healing you. You have to participate. But when we do that, it's much easier to quit. For all you people who've tried to quit something time after time after time after time and you weren't successful, it's not that you weren't trying. It's that you had some spirit of addiction on you or spirit of victimhood on you. And you need to have that removed first to be successful in stopping whatever it is that you want to stop. Okay? There's more to this world, this reality, than we've been led to believe. There are spirits of things. And I'm not talking about grandmother's spirit, okay? I'm talking about the spirit of victimhood, the spirit of addiction, things like that. They literally suck the life out of us and try to control us. They make us do things that we don't want to do. Demons, same thing. They make people do things they would not normally do. And we, outside of that, need to be compassionate and forgiving to these people. And remember that it is not the person doing it of their own free will. It is something, some entity, some energy that is trying to make them do it. And if you've ever talked to somebody like that, you can look in their eyes. Look in their eyes. If their eyes turn black, that's a sign. And you know what I'm talking about, because almost everybody has seen someone whose eyes are black. I'm not talking about just normal black eyes. I'm talking about blacked eyes, like the whole pupil and beyond is black, and it's like this murky black, like you're looking into a black hole. That means that human is being the host to something, okay? And my response or my advice to you is steer clear. If you see that and you do not know what you're doing, steer clear, because you don't want whatever that is to affect you. Hang on, my guides are talking. The thing that they want me to say is, do not be fearful, though. The frequency of fear is very, very low. So when you're around people like that, you raise your frequency because they don't want to be around you then. So be the lighthouse when you're around somebody like that. First of all, if you can, walk away. Second of all, if you can't, or if you can, raise your frequency. Think really positive thoughts. The Harry Potter books and movies, there's a lot of truth in those. And those Dementors that were in the series are a lot like what I'm talking about. They literally suck energy and life out of you. And your job is to be as positive and high frequency as possible. Think positive thoughts. Remember, that's what Harry Potter had to do. Think positive thoughts. For me, I have images of my son in my mind. And when I think of that, my frequency just goes whoop, way up high. Because there he is smiling and he's happy. And that just, it warms my heart. So it raises my frequency. Love raises your frequency. Those things don't like that. Remember, when you raise your frequency, those things will go away. Or at the very least, they'll leave you alone. Okay. It's interesting because that's not what I was planning on talking about today, but my guides, they just sort of, they tell me what to do and I'm just a tool and I know it. And I love it. I don't mind. So working on shadows. Now a big part of this is relationships. Relationships. Right now, like I was saying before, there's people that they're doing this in their relationship. Opposites attract. But the way it used to be before these energies shifted is that would work. And right now, it's not working so much. You got a high frequency person and a low frequency person that are attracted. But the whole purpose of that was to show the low frequency person how it feels to be up here instead of down here. And it's their free will whether they make those changes to lift themselves up. We can't, over here in the high frequency, we cannot lift them up. They have to choose to do it. This is huge. We all have free will. We can be the shining lighthouse, but we have to be an example. We can attempt to lift them up in whatever ways we have with frequencies and sounds and love and, high frequency emotions and pretty things and all that, crystals. But it's their choice whether they want to come up or whether they want to stay down. And I'm just going to use one of my relationships as an example. It was a karmic relationship. After we got together, I did a past life regression. I saw that we've been together many times, so we're soul family. And in all those lives, one of the things that we have done over and over and over is one of us was high frequency and one of us was low frequency. And the high frequency person had to try and bring the low frequency person up into the light. And I'm the high frequency person. And I remembered 3 lives. I was like, I don't even need to know more than that. I know we've been together way more than that, but we'll go with 3. And it's not that I failed. It's that he chose not to rise up frequency-wise in this life, in this life, in this life. And so then in this life now, here we are together and we're doing the same thing. And I could tell you what was going to happen next. It was so wild because I'm like, okay, next this is going to happen because that's what happened in that other life. And sure enough, then that would happen. And then next this is going to happen. And next, and I knew exactly what was going to happen. And I kept raising the frequency and, giving him a taste of it. And all it did was push him away. And we're not together. This has been years. So it's nobody that's in my life right now. But he chose to stay down in the low frequencies. And that's his choice. And it was my choice to say, then I can't be with you. I need to move on because I've done my job here. And I actually talked to my guides one day when a certain event happened. And I said, can I be done now, please? Can we tear up that soul contract? Because there's nothing I can do. And they said, yes. And so I watched myself tear up this soul contract and then it was done. And it just shows that, first of all, I did not fail, okay? There's no failing here. He didn't fail. He chose and I chose. And we need to think about it in those terms. Too many times we think, oh, I failed this. No, you did not fail. There is no fail. That's a man-made concept. But we choose to move on. We choose to go, okay, and this is complete. So doing the shadow work, wrong side, doing the shadow work, for me, that relationship was shadow work for him. It was me helping somebody do shadow work. But nobody failed. It was all about choice. But you have to know that we have soul contracts with other people. And sometimes it's something small, just for one day. Like, hey, you're gonna walk into my shop one day and you're gonna buy a crystal and it's gonna change your life. Just the fact that you came in here. And then done. Or it can be a relationship that lasts 83 years. It's up to us. We get to choose and we have free will. So when you're doing your shadow work, long story short, when you're doing your shadow work, know that you cannot fail. Okay? That is very, very important. You cannot fail when you're doing your shadow work. You choose. You have free choice. We choose every day. We choose what we're going to wear, what face we're going to present, what route we're going to drive to work, and how we're going to be with our loved ones. These are all choices. It's not like it's just this automatic pilot thing. You can't think that way because it's not. You choose. You choose every day, 1,000 times every day. You make choices. So when you're doing the shadow work, choose to come up out of the darkness. Choose to be the shining light that is an example for others, but know that you can't change them, okay? We plant the seeds. It's up to everybody else to nurture those seeds, okay? So another thing about shadow work, pick one. Don't try to change everything overnight. It's going to be really hard if you do it that way. It's hard to concentrate on one thing, especially these days with the energies the way they are. Pick one, just one, and do the best you can by choosing every day. And if you don't succeed today, start over tomorrow. And then the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day. We got to take this one day at a time. My beautiful soul family, you are beautiful and worthy of so many good things. Remember, this is all self-worth right here. And you got to know that you are worthy of being healthy. You are worthy of being loved. You are worthy of being financially free. So start there. Start there by saying, today I am worthy of all good things. Just go with that. And tomorrow say, I'm worthy of all good things, and I'm worthy of being healthy, and I'm worthy of stopping smoking, or whatever it is that you want to do. Put affirmations up on your cupboards or your mirror or wherever. Little things, little steps, one step every day. And just build onto that. Next thing you know, you have this huge building that you built with your emotions and your intentions and your attention. We just had a new moon, and it's all about intention and attention. What do you intend and what are you putting your attention towards? So let's be healthy. Let's be happy. Let's be loved and loving. And let's make the world a better place, because it all starts right here. It starts with me. It starts with you. And then, we just pass it on. Remember, People don't even have to know you. You just smile in their direction as you're walking down the street or driving or you're in a store. And you're going to make somebody else smile. Your smile is going to lift the frequency up. So lift it whenever you can. That's why we're here, to lift the frequency, not just of the people, but the animals, the plants, the trees, and Mama Earth. So let's make the world a better place, okay? Let's have a little golden singing bow. I love you guys. I send waves of love all around this planet, starting right here. I send them out in all directions. Waves of pink and purple sparkly love. High frequency, unconditional love. I send it out in all directions. And it touches everyone and everything. Pass it on. And remember, you are worthy of all good things, and you deserve all good things. So, I send you blessings of love, light, peace, joy, happiness, success, divine health, and all good things to you. Pass it on. Love you guys.